Hello all, today we are going to discuss a very interesting poem from the first flight of grade 10. The name of the poem is Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet and was called as the poet of nature. So before we could explore the poem, let's read it. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So it seems very short poem, just of 8 lines, but it has deep meanings. It is directly connected to each one of our daily life. Maybe it's you or me. Right? So, in this video, we will not only understand the explanation of the poem, but also the vocabulary that will help you to enhance your writing and as well as the literary devices along with rhyming scheme. Ready everyone? So, let us start the explanation of the poem. Robert Frost says, as I told you, he was a poet of nature. Generally, we all see that nature has given us number of things as a blessings. So, how is it possible that we ourselves on a contrary point, we ourselves cross our statements saying that crow, hemlock tree or some other creatures, they are negative? No, they are not negative. It's our perspective, it's our point of view. That is what the poet Robert Frost has tried to make us clear through this poem. He says that there was a day in his life when he found himself totally in a dismal state, in a gloomy, dismal state. He was sad throughout the day. But anyhow, he was in the nature and sat under a hemlock tree. After a while, a crow came over there and threw some dust of snow over the poet Robert Frost. What happened? Just with that dust, the mood of the poem changed. He said that just that small dust had saved his rest of the day to be ruined. Earlier, he was in dismal state, he was sad, but later it was changed just because of the crow. So, he is talking about positive as well as negative aspect of nature. He starts to saying that a trivial incident, just a trivial incident means a small incident, had changed his rest of the day. So as with us, throughout the day we never know which moment of our life is going to change our day, is going to change our life. This is what happened with Robert Frost as well. Who was an American poet. Right? So, generally the hemlock tree and crow, they are considered to be a symbol of ill omen. That is unlucky. Ill omen stands for unlucky. You may also use the word inauspicious. Right? So, before this incident, he was in dismal state. He was gloomy, as I told you. You may also replace the word with melancholy. Fine. So, just with this incident, his mood changed to joy, smiles. And poet wants to make us clear that joy and sorrow, smiles and tears go hand in hand in our life. We must not be losing our hope if now it is a sad mood of us. It's a bad moment. Maybe it is a moment when we are feeling just out. We are just feeling there is nothing in our life. Do not give up. Because if there is dark, there will be sunlight. Fine. So, he says he has subtly means smartly, right? Smartly, that is something that you do unnoticedly but very important. So, he had subtly proved us that through this poem when he said just a small dust of snow had saved his rest of the day to be ruined, to be spoiled, to be destroyed. Right? Now, moving towards literary devices. What are the literary devices in this poem? These are some of the words that will help you, phrases that will help you for your answers. And now we are moving to literary devices. Now, what are the literary devices in this poem? Alliteration, fine. Next is enjambment, third, symbolism, fourth, imagery. Right? Alliteration, again, as I have told in the grade 9th poem of Wind as in literary devices, and alliteration is the repetition of the initial sound. Initial sound, that is here, has given my heart. Has given my heart, has and heart. Then, and saved some part. Saved some, SS. So, this is alliteration. Enjambment. Children, notice the poem begins and in every line without any punctuation mark, and it ends with the full stop. This is enjambment, when the lines are not having any of the punctuation mark at the end. Next is symbolism. So, the dust of snow symbolizing, and here hemlock tree and crow are symbolizing any moment of the day, any part of the day. That anyone could be the mood changer for us. Next is imagery. While reading the poem, we all could feel it. We all could imagine the situation. Robert Frost walking in the area or sat under the hemlock tree. Hemlock tree, crow came, sat over there, threw some dust of snow. Or we say it fall on Robert Frost, and this is how his mood changed. We could imagine that. So, when in a poem we could feel the poem, we could imagine the situation, we get to know that there is the use of the literary device named imagery. Fine. Moving to the rhyming scheme. What is the rhyming scheme? It's one of the very important part we need to know, children, for every poem. Generally, What happens? Sometimes the poems are free words as well. But this poem had a rhyming scheme of A, B, A, B. Great. So once again, these are certain words that will help you to make your answers effective. That is, Robert Frost was a poet of nature. He was in the state of dismal. We can replace the word dismal with gloomy, melancholy. Hemlock tree and the bird crow were considered ill omen, inauspicious in the poem, but they didn't prove to be that. Fine, the poet has told us a trivial incident, a small incident, a minor incident can change the mood of anyone, can change the life. He had smartly explained this in his poem, subtly, right? And these are the literary devices in the poem followed with the rhyming scheme. So, if you have liked this video, if you have understood the explanation well, do mention in the comment box and we'll wait for your comments. With this, thank you.